Hey everyone, welcome to the CCPC podcast. I'm Eric, your host today, and for our guest, we have Helen Choi. Hi, Helen.
Hi.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Helen. I'm 22. I have been going to CCPC for less than a year, but started last year after I graduated from Virginia Tech, May 2021. And yeah, love it here.
Awesome. Into the first question. Helen, what is your hot take?
My hot take. Oh, on what?
That's a great question. Now you got me on the hot seat. I don't even know. Let's start with your food hot take.
Food hot take.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you think sriracha is overrated?
I put sriracha on everything.
On everything. Oh,
everything.
It's not much of a hot take. It's a spicy take, but it's not a hot take. What's your favorite hot sauce? I guess it's sriracha.
Sriracha and probably Tabasco.
Are you great with spicy stuff, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I think so.
You enjoy it.
Yes.
Like when you go to a spicy chicken place like Woo Boy, for example, do you get the higher level spice?
Mm-hmm. I've only been there once though, so I'm not really sure what the levels are.
Gotcha. Do you have like a favorite spicy food place to go to?
Ooh, a place? No. I usually just wherever I go, especially if it's an Asian place, I try to get something spicy.
Gotcha.
I feel like there's no flavor if there's no spice.
Right. Yeah, but when you're like sweating and it's painful, is that not like a detractor for your enjoyment?
I actually didn't know people sweat when
really?
they ate something spicy. Yeah.
Wow.
I remember I would like see people like sweating and like getting red and stuff, and I was just like, I wonder, is it hot in here or something? But I think my thing is just like, if it gets too spicy, my whole mouth goes numb. Yeah.
So you just lose feeling.
Exactly.
Do you sweat normally, or is that like a
I sweat like when I work out.
Yeah. Okay.
But not when I eat spicy food.
Wow, you're just super strong in the mouth
I'm built
department.
different.
God, that built differently for sure. Do you put sriracha in your pho or Korean food?
Oh yes, of course. I put sriracha in my ramen.
Oh, do you add sriracha as an ingredient to when you make food?
No, just as a topper.
Okay, just as a topping.
I like just drench everything.
That makes sense.
Like fried rice, not complete without sriracha.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy cooking a lot?
I used to in college, and then I moved back in with my parents, and my mom does everything.
Gotcha.
So,
and they're up here, I'm assuming, and you're living. Okay, you're living with them. And how long have you been up in Northern Virginia area now?
I graduated last May, so it's been a year. Oh my gosh, it's been a year.
Don't freak out. Don't freak out.
Okay.
You're just aging.
This will make me sweat. Yeah. A year.
Have you been enjoying your time so far?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like since the pandemic, things have been very slow.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, to say that tone. But yeah, I feel like each of my weeks have been very much the same. Except maybe something happening for a weekend, like going on a small trip.
Sure.
Like I've been going to New York a lot. So that's been fun.
Do you think you've been feeling bored, or is it like a good time for you to now relax after college?
No, I think I need to do more.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I feel like I'm not doing enough.
Boredom. Do you have any plans then for the upcoming future?
Absolutely not.
Oh, absolutely not. So then are you a planner? You just haven't started planning it, or are you more of a spontaneous person?
I used to be very type A, like plan everything, put everything in my calendar, write everything down. But I think I've been enjoying a lot more spontaneous events. So I think I need to mix. Like I need to see that my calendar is full, that I have things planned. So it makes me feel like accomplished and like I'm chasing after something. But at the same time, having those spontaneous events makes it fun and keeps my heart racing.
Do you have a favorite place to travel to though?
Recently, New York.
New York?
Yeah, I used to hate it.
Oh, really?
I thought it was really dirty and overrated.
Me too.
Yeah, when I first went to New York, with my mom, like my sophomore year when I moved here, I was very much like, why do people come here?
Yeah. But then you came to appreciate what do you most appreciate now about New York?
The food.
Oh, of course. That was a softball
Why else would I go? Yeah.
Then what's your favorite food then in New York?
Oh, Raku.
Raku? I've always wanted to go.
It's
I never had the chance.
Good. It's so good. Like they have this spicy Raku Niku soup thing. So good.
And it's not just udon, right? But that's pretty much what everyone goes there for. Is there anything else on the menu that you think people should get?
No, it's mostly udon.
It's just mostly udon. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. When was the last time you were up there?
2-3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
We went for my friend's birthday, and we also watched Wicked, which was very good. It was my second time watching it. Very much worth it. You should
Gotcha. Are you much of a Broadway person, or is this
Oh
once
no, that's my only thing that I've
Dang, you
watched.
still really enjoyed it. I watched it a
Yeah.
while ago. Maybe it was because I was in high school.
Yeah,
but I was like,
same.
meh.
Yeah, same. I thought it was kind of overrated.
Yeah, but now you're like, oh,
And
kind
now
of
I
good.
understand it because they talk about a lot of like social and like political issues
Mhm,
that I didn't catch before. But now I'm
mhm.
like realizing it and I
Yeah,
see what they're trying to portray in a very like family friendly way.
right.
So yeah, I liked it.
Hits all the marks. That's
Mm-hmm.
great. So switching gears a little bit, what was a good choice and a bad choice that you made this past week?
Oh my gosh, that's a good one. Bad choice going on TikTok during the
Oh,
workday. I have a 3-hour limit on my TikTok and I had to ignore that limit today
oh
because
man, you set that yourself?
yeah,
Okay, wow,
I tried,
that's
but
so
I ignore it
mature of
anyway.
you, and then so
Irresponsible. Yeah, I know. That and then maybe a good choice going to sleep early
Mm.
at like 1:30.
Dang, so still watching TikTok and then sleeping early. That's positive. That's definitely a positive.
I definitely need to do a bit more work, like for work. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
I feel like I slack off a bit, but I'll get on that.
Yeah, definitely. You have time for that too. You're what, 1 year out of college, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So, how are you liking the new job and everything in Virginia?
I hate it.
Ah, yeah.
No, it's great.
Don't worry, this will never get to
No,
them, I'm
it's
pretty
great.
sure.
Oh yeah, if anybody from my workplace is watching this or hearing this, I didn't say that.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course.
It's okay. It's
Mhm,
consulting,
mhm.
the thing that most people do, I feel like, in
Right.
Nova. But I'm trying to see if I can switch gears a little bit with my career. So talking to some people about that. And
Gotcha,
hopefully
gotcha.
that makes me feel a bit more productive.
Uh-huh,
Because
uh-huh.
I feel like I know work isn't supposed to be life and it's not supposed to be everything you ever wished for in your passions, but I feel like there's no motivation for me to get up and do my work,
Right. You want to at
except to get up.
least enjoy your time,
Yeah, like while
even
I'm
if it's
doing
not the
it.
most exciting thing in the
Yeah,
world,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Do you know what you would want to be doing elsewise?
I did talk about eventually wanting to own a cafe.
Oh, cafe. Where did that dream come from?
I worked at a couple cafes part-time, and there were a lot of things that I really wanted to change about those places, and I liked the vibe.
What are some good things you see at cafes, and what are some bad things you see at cafes?
Bad things mostly maybe management,
Hmm.
like employee customer relationship, that kind of stuff, which very much starts at the top,
Sure. Yeah,
from the
definitely.
owners and the managers. So that would be something I would try to
Fixed remedy.
fix.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Or at least change in some unique way that you haven't seen before. Definitely.
yeah. And like the more fun design stuff, like decorating the interior and the exterior of the cafe, creating the menu, all that kind of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy coffee, so yeah, I thought it'd be kind of cool. And also incorporating like a speakeasy into the cafe.
Well,
Very ambitious dreams.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
I don't know.
Are there any cafes here in Virginia that you appreciate, you like, or are they all kind of, you know?
They're all
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the ones that you like the most relatively?
I haven't seen one
Oh
yet,
man,
which is why
yikes.
I'm trying to make one.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. So what would you want to stress if you were to make your own cafe? Like what are the top priorities you think on your list?
One thing I definitely want to incorporate is environmentally friendly
Mm.
things like reusable cups, like really implementing that into the whole thing. Customer loyalty, marketing. I studied marketing in college, so I feel like that's something I could try to really hone in on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of environmentally conscious decisions with a cafe.
What's your opinion on the paper straws?
I hate the feeling of it. The concept is okay,
Mhm.
but
Execution slacking.
yeah, and I feel like waste is just created no matter what.
Mhm.
And I guess whatever has the least impact or the negative impact and something that we could reuse would be great. So I don't know. I don't really have an opinion.
Right, that's
In
opinion.
conclusion, yeah.
That's pretty good. And what are the other top things you would want in your cafe? Your priorities?
Ooh, lots of plants,
Lots of plants.
lots of greenery.
Okay.
Make it
So
very
I'm already
pretty.
envisioning what
Yes,
your cafe would
do you
look
see
like.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
I also want to incorporate like classes,
Oh.
like meditation
Oh,
classes
meditation classes.
within
I
the
thought it was in a
cafe.
cafe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be kind of cool. So make something, make the cafe something a little bit different
Mm-hmm.
and add something a little bit more.
Yeah, make it unique. Yeah,
Mhm.
something that makes it very Helen. Or would you want it to reflect you, or would you want it to reflect like a certain vibe or character?
If I really want the perfect vibe, definitely not me.
Oh, come on, give yourself some credit.
No, but definitely a mixture of a lot of things.
Mhm.
I feel like I just want so many things. Very greedy. I'm very greedy. So I need everything to be perfect. I'm not so much like that anymore after college because now I'm kind of lazier.
Mhm.
But for my cafe, I think I would want everything to be exactly how they're supposed to be.
Gotcha. Ooh,
Yeah.
how they're supposed to be. I
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that. I like
Reflecting
that.
good values,
Mhm.
ethics,
Mhm.
all that big business stuff.
If there's not in New York, what are
Mhm.
some cafes you think that embody this ideal?
Uh,
Or did I say New York? I meant Nova, but yeah.
I was like, New York cafes.
Are there cafes
Wait, sorry, what was the question?
elsewhere besides Nova that embody, you think, a great cafe?
Oh,
Like New York, for example. What would you say was a good cafe that you visited when you were there?
a lot of my cafe experiences in New York have been horrible.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow. That's where everyone goes for the...
Yeah. No, I think I just get the wrong drinks.
that's
And I just
fair.
get the bad coworkers
Mhm.
that make my drink too watery, too sweet,
To something.
too something. But I appreciate their hard work.
Mhm. I'm assuming you make your coffee yourself if you have such strong feelings on these coffee.
Yes.
Is there a certain way that you brew your coffee, or is it...
No, I just have I recently got an espresso machine.
Mhm. Okay.
So I've been playing around with that.
Yeah.
I'm still not the perfect coffee, but at the same time, I don't really know what a perfect
Yeah.
coffee is supposed to taste like.
Yeah.
I just know what it tastes like. Or
What you enjoy.
yeah.
Right. And I mean, that's what you want most, right? It's not about
Yeah.
what's perfect. It's what you love. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I definitely want to create a space for a sense of community, have everyone feel like they belong.
Do you have any opinion on the Wi-Fi or no Wi-Fi in a cafe?
Oh, of course we have to have
There's
Wi-Fi.
I think it's weird when
They
cafes
don't?
don't have Wi-Fi. Like La Colombe, they don't have Wi-Fi specifically.
Really?
So I think it's partly so people can get out of there quickly because they don't want to work there.
Yeah, I
But
assume
also
so.
it's to foster, like community and
Yeah.
talking. But
Interesting. I'd never been somewhere that they didn't offer Wi-Fi. No, I will have LTE.
Yeah.
I will have the fastest Wi-Fi.
There you go. Do you personally do work at cafes?
Oh yeah, I try to, but then in the morning I wake up and I just sit at my desk and I get lazy.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
But the idea of going to a cafe and doing work is very
calming.
Exactly, aesthetic.
So
And
it's all about the vibe.
Yeah, the vibe, exactly. Yeah.
So over the break, over the pandemic, have you been doing anything fun in your free time?
I started taking boxing classes, like group boxing classes, because personal training is a bit too expensive for me. Yeah. But that has been fun. I don't go too often, but it's definitely something to do. Oh, a big one. I started gaming.
Oh,
yeah.
What games do you like playing?
So I started out with Animal Crossing.
Oh,
as everybody does.
The pandemic dream. Yeah,
exactly.
Everyone was playing.
Yeah, especially when the first, or when the new release came out. I actually didn't have a Switch. I used my friend's Switch to play on it because
Was this
I really
when you were
wanted
still
to.
in school? Okay, yeah.
This was my junior year.
Okay, yeah.
It was right when the pandemic started, actually. And I remember I went to GameStop the first thing in the morning because I grew up playing Animal Crossing and a bunch of like Wii and DS games, you know what I mean? But then we kind of got over that, and then we got introduced to Valorant, my first FPS game, and I've been playing that since.
So for those of you who don't know, Valorant is like a first-person shooter. It's like a team-based gun game, shooting game. Yeah. I personally been playing. I played when it first came out, when it was like 2 years ago, and you said you've been playing for about a year. Is there specifically when you guys play Valorant, do you have a specific role that you're filling? Like you're the support, you're the top frag.
I go around. I do whatever.
Yeah.
I think in the beginning I played very much one thing that was very fun, but now I just I get into very mini phases with each player. Actually, recently I haven't had one. Recently I've been very much like floating around, mostly like Sentinel, holding down site. Oh my gosh, such a geek.
Do you think playing Valorant has made you want to play more games going forward, or do you think it's like a once-off kind of thing?
Oh, I tried to get into League. Did not understand the game at all.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yeah.
That's very fair.
So then I just played TFT with my friend.
Oh, okay.
And then we played Fortnite for a bit. Tried to get into Apex. But yeah, mostly I think Valorant has been the most consistent game.
Those are all games that I play.
Really?
Or have played, yeah.
Really? What do you play now?
Nowadays it's mostly League of Legends and Tetris.
Oh, Tetris.
I was okay, I'm not gonna. I was mastering TFT when I was playing. Yeah.
No way.
Cut that.
Keep that in there. Everyone listen.
I feel like I'm bragging about something that should not be bragged about.
No, that's very impressive.
Oh, thank you.
Because I don't think I could get on a bronze. Yeah. I also haven't played Rift, so
you know, we have a lot of friends who actually achieve masters, so we'll coach you while you're playing. We'll make everyone hit master. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's a whole phase for us. But thank you, Helen. I was wondering, we could switch gears again. I know you recently came to CCPC. How did you come to CCPC in the first place?
Shout out to Grace and Jamie.
Grace and Jamie.
Yeah, they're the ones that first talked about it, and I was looking for a new church because previously I went to ODPC. Because it was closer to home, and a lot of my friends from high school went there. But now I felt like after college, I needed a bit of a change to look for something new and also a difference in my scenery. Because, you know, if I went there since high school, I feel like everything will still be the same with my growth. So yeah, I decided to try CCPC. And then I think the first day we went, I met Tim, who is my CG leader. Hi, Tim. Shout out. And then we just got right into a CG the following Wednesday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you like most about CG so far?
Definitely the people that I've met there, mostly the girls. Love the girls. We would split up into separate genders and then talk about our weeks and then any prayer requests we had, and I think that made me feel a lot more comfortable. And we got to open up and share, and I really like that aspect because when I first was getting into my faith in Christianity, I think the community is what really got me into it, but also I didn't stay for that, you know? Like I built my faith around my friends. But then after going through college and having more of like a foundational faith, I don't know if that's the phrase, but having that and then going into CG was very refreshing because I no longer had to depend on the group to lead me in my faith, but mostly just to support.
Did you find it difficult or easy to make community when you did join CG and start making those connections?
I was very nervous at first because I'm not really good with meeting new people, especially groups of people. But definitely talking to everybody and meeting weekly was helpful. If I just saw them once, I think that would have not really done anything. But yeah, the community aspect, I think, is what I really enjoy about CG and all the fun game nights. And the food that Tim makes. How can I forget? This is the only thing he talks about. But yeah, he cooks for us a lot and it's really wonderful.
Well, what's the best thing that he's made so far?
Trying to think. I think we did taco night one time.
Taco?
Very good. Very nice steak.
Yeah.
And guacamole.
Carne asada. He puts
yeah. When he grilled it outside. Yeah, very good.
Definitely. Would you recommend for a newcomer to join a CG as a way to connect with people?
Yes.
And if so, why?
Yes, because I think when you just go to church and you just listen to the sermon, that's very, helpful to yourself as well and your faith. But afterwards, it's kind of hard, in my opinion, or at least for me. If I were to go alone to my first service, it would have been very difficult to meet people and introduce myself because, everybody is just like saying hi to each other and introducing themselves to the people that they already know. And that's like natural, I think, within any group. But yeah, I think going to a CG would be helpful since you get that more one-on-one conversations with anybody, within the group. when I went to my first service for CCPC, I went with a friend. So, and we were both new, and she went to CCPC online before. Oh, Hannah. But since we went together, it was a little bit more helpful, and we knew like Grace and Jamie there. So I think that helped us get connected. And, we went to lunch afterwards. It was all a good time, whatever. But if you were to go alone, I think getting plugged into a CG would definitely be very helpful and fun.
And fun.
Yeah,
definitely.
very fun.
Get free food apparently from
exactly.
Yeah.
Join Tim's.
Yeah, seek him out.
Yeah. I'll point him out next time.
What's your opinion on just the community of Christ Central as a whole right now? Ooh, that's a big question.
No opinion.
No opinion.
I never thought about it.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't notice anything bad about it. I do know it's just a lot of people from a certain college.
Right.
Yes, which I didn't notice actually until a couple weeks in. I'm like, oh yeah, everyone's from UVA. But that was fine with me.
Yeah, all the UVA people think the same thing about tech. So
really,
yeah, I think so. I mean, I see a lot of young tech grads in CCPC now. Not a ton, but
yeah,
it's growing in number.
Yeah.
Growing in number.
I see like the individuals who went to tech. I'm like, oh, you go here kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the most of the people that I see, I feel like went to college together.
What is one thing you were looking for when you were looking for your new church?
Just something new.
Something new?
Yeah, and
Definitely.
somewhere that I knew not too many people went.
Right.
Like KCPC, a lot of personal past ties, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I wouldn't want to go there. And then I was looking for other Korean churches because I think that's where, that's how I came to church for the first time when I was a senior in high school.
Okay.
So that felt a little bit more comfortable for me going to a Korean church. And definitely the sermons. I feel like for at least like personally, at my previous church, I felt a little bit disconnected from the sermon. I'm not really sure why. I think my heart just wasn't in it. So listening to a fresh perspective from a different pastor about things that I didn't think about or consider was eye-opening. So church itself, I think the sermons and the pastor helped in learning something new.
Right. Making you feel not interested, but like a part of the church, like you want to be part of the church.
More engaged.
Engaged.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome.
I mean, my old church was great too, but I think also because I kept seeing the same people and I wanted to, expand and change something.
Definitely. Especially leaving college, I think that's a great time for people to want to rediscover like, where they are living and all these things. And
yeah.
So you briefly mentioned that you started coming to church when you were a senior in high school. How did you first start coming to church?
Oh, friends. I had 2 friends in my high school that went to ODPC. So then I decided, or they brought me out to like a fun social event. Like we went ice skating or something. And that's what got me plugged in. But before that, I didn't really go to church or anything. I went to one Christian retreat when I was a freshman, I think. And that was wonderful, but I just never thought to go back to church.
Right. So what do you think kept you going after those first times coming back with your friends?
Them?
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't, I mentioned earlier, but I haven't really built my faith at this point.
Right.
And I was very skeptical about religion, even though I grew up like praying. Because my family's Catholic. So it was like that for a bit, and it was just the social aspect. Because I never had friends who talked about God growing up, so that was really refreshing, and having someone to relate to in that aspect, and sharing my doubts and my confessions, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also going to a retreat, I think the youth retreat my senior year, that was really eye-opening too. I was a little scared though, because there were some aspects of it that felt very like, oh my god, why am I here? Where am I? This is kind of weird. Eventually I started to build my own ideas and beliefs.
So how do you think that transition happened from you going from with your friends for their friends to now, leaving college you started searching out your church for yourself?
It was mostly my junior year of college that I felt a bit of a shift in my faith. I think I started to believe more because I tried on my own instead of relying on other people to teach me about it. And also, at that time, I really relied on personal connections and relationships to help guide my faith. But then after I started to pray a lot on my own, and I didn't do too many QTs, but even just starting one was already a big step for me. So that definitely helped me feel like I needed to be more involved with my faith. Like I'm so lukewarm. I'm almost not warm. Well, I was very cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I need to change.
Right. So it was a recognition of your state of mind, just being very content with whatever is happening, where you realize, like, what do I really believe? And then caused you to critically think about all that stuff, right?
Yeah. And coming to CCPC and having like the people from my CG and having friends in CCPC now helps me talk about my faith more openly.
Right.
Or not really talk about it, but just think about it a lot more because my immediate friends, we don't really talk about God. One of my friends isn't religious, so it's difficult to bring that up in conversation. So yeah.
Do you think you're able to be open and vulnerable when you're in CG, or do you think it's still a little bit closed off just because, to be fair, everyone's new still. It's only been 8 months since you got to meet everyone, right?
So I have a friend that I started to bring out to CCPC, and she got plugged into the CG that I'm in, and I definitely share a lot with her because we've known each other for a bit now, and that has been helpful in me opening up. But at the same time, I think I've always been pretty open about what's on my mind.
Do you ever talk about your faith with your non-religious friends?
Yes, and they know that I go to church and they support me in every way, which is great. And I understand why they're not religious anymore because they used to be, and I try to be very empathetic with that, and I am, but I don't know how to bring up the whole conversation again about, oh, how about you try revisiting your faith?
Right.
Because I know that they had a past of like having their faith broken and stuff because of others around them, which is really hard for them to hear, or which is very hard for them to go through and for me to hear,
Right.
But I can still openly talk about my faith with them.
Yeah.
Not exactly my walk, but just, how I'm doing in it maybe. Yeah, I honestly can't really remember the last time we've had a deep talk, a conversation about God.
Is that just because topic never really came up, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just talk about dumb things.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you get to see your groups of friends as much now that college is over and, you have everyone has jobs and stuff and you're a little bit more distant?
Not so much. I consistently see one or two friends, but having, again, CG like every week has been helpful, and just me getting out the house and seeing like more faces. Otherwise, I would just, see the people that I'm very comfortable with. But yeah, everyone's really busy. I miss college a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you miss the most?
Definitely living with my roommates. It was so fun. We just wake up and we already see each other. And we're like, and then we're like, what are you doing today? I don't know. And then we would just be like, okay, you want to go to Target? Anyway, that'd be our conversation. Or we would have sleepovers, even though we live in the same house.
Yeah.
We would like set up tent outside in our living room and watch movies, and just that kind of fun living with people. I miss that a lot. Also having my own meals to cook because I'm getting fat eating my mother's food. Yeah, so I just
that one, but I'm sure it's delicious.
Great.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
Do you think you feel at home at Christ Central now, or do you think it's still something you're trying to piece together for yourself?
Definitely something still I'm trying to figure out. But I feel a little bit more comfortable like seeing faces, knowing faces, and now I know your face.
What are some ways that you think would help you in deciding?
I think I can see myself here for as long as I live in Nova.
Right. So just like time and getting more comfortable.
Yeah. And I think I just need to like get myself out of my own comfort zone because I get scared to talk to people, you know, like someone's already in a conversation. How do I, go up to them and be like, oh, I think we've met before, that kind of stuff. Right. So that is a bit difficult, but that's mostly on me.
So what would you think would be your first steps to push yourself out of comfort zone right now?
Oh my gosh, concrete solutions? I don't know that.
Or maybe like, what is one ministry you might want to serve, for example? Or
oh, okay, serving.
That's definitely one way to get plugged into a church.
There were a couple events that there was a conference that I went to last year, I think. That was out of my comfort zone. I did that. But ever since then, nothing much. So I guess trying to go to more events outside of just Sunday service, which I have also been slacking on. So maybe I'll start with that. Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad you're calling yourself out because definitely don't feel guilty about it though. I think it's it gets tough for sure. I think I think it's great though because I've always personally felt that there's no guilt from my friends when I'm not like showing up for things, but then they would also reach out and be like, hey, are you okay? Doing okay with this stuff. And I think that's what I appreciate a lot about community groups, especially where you have that specific avenue where people, are set up to try to build us up that way, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm assuming you anticipate being in the CG for future years as well.
Yeah, I didn't know that it just ends.
Yeah.
And then something new starts up.
Right.
Yeah. So when does that start?
So community groups are supposed to end like mid-June and then they restart around beginning of September or so.
Oh, okay.
So we generally have a 2-3 month break where we're either getting to know Bridges members better or other people at CCPC better, or even our, back, you could still hang out with your CG.
Yeah,
it just won't
that's
be
true.
an official capacity.
Yeah.
To wrap things up a little bit, I'm going to ask you a final question. And this is a question we like to ask just to all our guests. And that's, do you have someone in particular who's been really influential in your Christian walk? Someone who's been along you maybe the entire way, but maybe an event that helps you see God's faithfulness a little bit better?
I have 2 friends that come to mind. My first friend is the one that like brought me out to church in the first place, and we went to retreat together, that senior year retreat, and she shared a lot about her story that I didn't know, and that was really insightful to me because I was like, wow, like there was so much hurt and trauma, yet you still persevered and you're here, kind of thing, and that really inspired me, and she's such a strong woman, and it really makes me believe in God's faithfulness. And then my other friend was the one that brought me out to CCF. And she's the one that got me plugged in. And we talked a lot about faith because she was my roommate for 2 years as well. Having those conversations and those relationships were, again, like one way that I built my faith and the way that I connected with God's people.
Definitely. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Helen. I hope you enjoyed being on the podcast
No,
today.
it was great.
It wasn't too stressful, but
my palms are sweating a little bit, but like we're okay.
Well, you did a great job, and thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Casually, and then if we go into like a super like, hi, this is Eric, and you're listening to W2OP Radio. Yeah. Then people are like, oh, I thought this was casual.